Welcome to our fourth collection of catastrophes, clangers, and what that firm of port manufacturers would probably describe as co-ups. Because our highly trained team of blooper snoopers have once again been ransacking the world's cutting rooms in search of outtakes, those welcome moments in the making of film and television programs when any Tom, Dick or Harry can suddenly be revealed as a Wally. So what I must stress straight away is that almost all such moments only happen because films and television shows are made under conditions that can only be compared to Dolly Parton's bra. Constant pressure and unremitting strain. In fact, studios nowadays place so much emphasis on time and money. One of those fringe religions in Southern California now calls itself the second church of the first take. It claims that God not only created the world in 5 days, he brought it in under budget. Of course, the other reason why so many people in front of a camera suddenly start behaving as though they've just been hit by a stun gun, well, that one is illustrated fairly clearly in our first nosegay of no-nos, namely that program making, like life itself, seems to be a continuous process of dealing with things you had absolutely no logical reason to expect.
Shalimar, all right. Hey, Sue. And you can take that to the bank. As Robert Blake said. Let me get the names of Shalimar.
I'm Jeffrey Daniel.
Jody Watley.
Thinking about a bird for a pet, look for one who's alert and active, and beware of bargain birds. Ow!
That was a cliff, I suppose.
Yes, I'm sure. But I'm just
Oh! I hated that path always.
One other reason there'd be no alliance with the ALP on any matter is because electors who voted for the Liberals did so as an anti-socialist measure and would see any ALP Liberal get-together as a breach of trust by their members. You want to do that again because this thing... Stuff them up.
Just this far. Okay. And...
Okay.
Well, you...
That's what we're going to do. Yeah, let's move it over. Now, when you do this at home, be sure that you're a professional.
We've now retitled that song, Let It Moth. Those outtakes represented the kind of extremely unlikely hazards that only happen to program makers maybe once or twice an hour, but something that's much more frequently encountered by anyone with a task to perform in front of a camera is the onset of a form of amnesia you could call the Teflon syndrome, because nothing sticks. It's as though your entire remembering mechanism had somehow got stranded between floors. And what's worse, it can even come upon you in circumstances such as the first one in our next collection of case histories. A moment from a privately videoed cassette of a young couple's wedding where something rather essential had been left behind on a table.
The congregation, please stand. I'm going to ask for this question each in turn. Answer, I will. First, Teddy.
He can do what he likes. Do what he pleases. I won't be here. No. I'm fucking not going to remember what I'm supposed to say.
Two major promises he has not been able to keep, and those are the promises to put more Americans back to work, and the second promise is the promise to, what was that second promise?
What do we want 6 new dinner plates for? We've got dinner plates.
They don't match.
What's a bad miring?
A kind of saucepan.
Yes?
Are you ever going to speak to me?
Your Excellency.
Joining for my very first solo concert for television, Thursday on HBO. Was it Thursday? It was Wednesday.
Good afternoon, and welcome to our midday movie, the final one for the week on this Friday, the 19th. And thanks for dropping by to enjoy a couple of hours together. We have the new...
Hang on, Bruce.
I haven't got the mic on. Look, I rushed in, we were having lunch in the canteen. I do apologize. I rushed in and inadvertently forgot to put the microphone on. But those things happen. I mean, we all tend to make mistakes. But that indeed was one of the classics, and we hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. Oh, we have the film here.
It is my life.
I don't think
I'm not.
I don't mind you being a little disappointed. So,
What does she say? Mr. Sinden and Miss Blackman appearing in what might be called the mouth trap. Well, although that selection showed some of the ways in which actors indicate that they've forgotten their lines, including the usual bleeped bonus for lip readers, but one we didn't get was the American version of our theatrical expression, I'd drive, because what Americans say is, I'm up. Now, I mention that to clarify one of our next copy of parallels, all of which come from that universally popular form of video valium soap operas, beginning with an American emotional drama whose ratings went soaring when the cast was joined by none other than Hollywood's most distinguished exponent of the phrase, what's in a name, Miss Elizabeth Hilton Wilding Todd Fisher Burton Warner Taylor.
I know that I tried to say.
Then you did see the good in him.
I saw... I don't know what I saw, because I'm up. Yeah! It's Elizabeth Taylor!
Yeah?
It's me, Mark. Is that in? Yes, of course it's me. I'm incognito. Don't you tell us. Sullivan and I am here.
First of all, about the wedding. Now, the reason I have been reluctant to discuss it... Believe this. Must be the flowers ringing.
Just close your eyes. Drift off.
No, first, I should take over my watch. Oh, just a second.
Come on, Erica.
You don't mind me. Real safe watch, Tom.
I believe you.
Pickpocket will never get this.
Thought I could hold you this one.
Now that means she's either asleep or she's gone out or just maybe she got a phone call from Mesa and has returned to the fold.
No. No, see, for Asa to have called her at the pit house, that means that he would have to have no. Let me call her back.
Hey, Machello, what's happening? Hi, Deb. Hi, Brad.
What's happening is I've been waiting here for over an hour for you. Where on earth have you been?
I was with my daughter, right?
Why did you tell me to meet you here at 4 o'clock if you had no intention?
I got delayed. I had to babysit. I didn't want to leave her with my wife's living boyfriend, all right?
Hey, cool it. Beverly didn't do anything. Why are you taking it out on her?
Hey, you mind your own business.
No, I'm just saying. Take it easy. Back off a little.
Yeah, it's right.
Had a deep, abiding love. I said yes.
Right.
Oh, sh**. I did startle myself. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not used to acting.
Miss Taylor, and then there are, you know, according to rumour, she was only tempted into taking that part by the promise of an ingenious plot twist. Every week she marries the guest star. If you look through a lot of these outtakes, one thing you can't help noticing, apart from the faint hissing sound of egos deflating, but what's possibly most noticeable is the phenomenon that links our next collection, namely that when it's positioned anywhere near a television camera, there is no limit to the number of ways the human body can let a person down.
If the strike doesn't bring prices up, Knut Friedal says he'll be looking for another job in another year. That would mean the end of farming for a fourth. If the strike isn't successful in getting farm prices up, Knut Friedal says he'll be looking for another job in another year.
Even if the jaw is wired shut, I think it's possible to nod your head yes or to shake your head.
If the strike isn't successful in getting farm prices up, Knut Friedal says he'll be looking for another job in a year. That will mean the end of farming.
Well, the storming's downfall, the clouds are now clearing. A bit of blue sky there. So it's time to go to the Foire de Caen on Jersey Day. Follow me.
The representatives of governments and peoples
to work to free humanity, peacemaking requires farsightedness. Farsightedness is a quality needed in all peacemaking. My final prayer is this, that God will bless America and long remain one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The patient was released from the hospital this week and said it's the first time in years I've been able to cross my legs.
In which state of the United States was President Kennedy assassinated? In Texas.
Donald, if you wanted a fare. This is a common way, this movement from car to taxi. A pat on, bam, bam, bam.
Graphic bit of self-expression from Australian media person. Now you know where Clive James gets his gift for the telling phrase. But on the subject of overseas ejaculations, let me tell you something that struck me while we were looking through some other outtakes from TV news programs. That's that although the ancient Greeks bequeathed us that useful word eureka, meaning I found it, I made it, I succeeded, isn't it a shame there's no ancient Greek word for I blew it? Why such a word might be particularly appreciated by television journalists is because, as you'll see in the bunch of examples coming up now, in their ceaseless search for objective truth, they have to ask such searching questions.
Andy, where did you get hit? You got shot.
In my head.
Minister, why aren't you getting home to women?
Can I have a little, right,
Certainly.
thank you much indeed. Nice bouquet, as they say. Well, I can report strictly, of course, in the line of duty.
What do you think of an English cup of tea?
You know the better, English the tea. You will eat something good a lot, I think the sick. In the Chinese, after not very sick, in the somebody very good. Chinese tea.
Lovely.
Hur känns det för dig?
Hon känns väldigt skön.
Det här var en uppgörelse som du fick.
Ja, med köpet och så, men inte med
allt lida. Jag har inte fått någon ersättning.
Don't push me too hard on this information. I'm not certain of what I'm talking about.
How do you like beach life?
Oh, I like it very much.
You like it despite this?
Oh, sure. This only happens about twice a year. Adds a little bit of excitement to it.
A little bit of excitement.
How do you like it?
I don't much care for it.
The men and women of the Fleet Reserve say they hope this is a tradition that can continue for a long time, because they say it's the least they can do for their shipmates who gave...
The man himself is adamant that he doesn't want to be identified, and even his fellow inmates of Wormwood Scrubs, those who he's speaking on behalf of, won't be told his identity. Colin Baker, for Thames News, Westminster, soaked with cold feet and an aching heart, married, several children, pissed off, really dreadfully pissed off.
That was Colin Baker wearing television's fashionable loser look. But if life has not been kind to Colin, spare a thought for our next group of human lemmings, because they exemplify a television predicament that's equally universal. The speaker who's zooming along when suddenly his tongue seems to hit a pothole. And what I find especially interesting about this batch is not only the way that getting just one word wrong can completely alter a text, but also how often it seems to improve it.
I like it.
What, the table in the corner?
No, the way you let her know who's boss.
You like that, huh?
Mm-hmm. Gives me goosebumps.
I'll give you a whole lot nicer than that if you like that.
Don't you have in mind?
Come on, let's get out of here and I'll show you.
We're supposed to eat first.
Come on, why waste time?
You said we were going to have dinner.
Okay. A little fornication might help.
For his doctors and his signature on a piece of legislation, President Ronald Reagan is alive and well and kicking tonight, one day after the assassination attempt, just 2.5 months into his pregnancy.
Wonderful music. It's Tchaikovsky.
The manicure is said to her husband, Julio.
You woken up dumb in, Grill. You've woken up. You've woken up, dumb in, Gropey.
Friedel says if the strike is not successful, if farm prices don't go up, he'll have to look for another job. And that will mean the end of farm. Friedel says if the strike is not successful and farm prices don't go up, he'll have to look for another job. And that will mean the end of farm. The same word all the time.
Oh, Mark, Dad's right. It's not the thought, it's the gift that comes.
How been due largely to the weather, do you think? Well, I think it's got to have a lot to do with the weather. The weather in traditional English terms is not very predictable. Sorry, it's very predictable. Or is it not?
Avon's ambulance. Avon's ambulance. Avon's ambulance. Avon's ambulance. The ambulance men of Avon.
Okay, Ben. After today, I'm going to be a one-man woman. I'm a one-woman lady. What am I?
His director told him what he was. but we came across an intriguing variation on that group because another of our private wedding videos, in this case an American one, contains an example of how getting one word wrong doesn't always improve matters. Now, the moment in question came while the bride's father was proposing a toast to the happy couple, his daughter Katie and his new son-in-law Stephen.
It's very rare that I have the opportunity of having my whole gang of troops, my son from California, my daughter and my son-in-law and my grandchildren from Florida, all together in one place and at the same time. And those of you, there's one or two of you that are grandparents and parents in the audience, and you know how I feel about that, because it's absolutely delicious. And at this time, I'd like to propose a toast to Robin and Katie, who are responsible for all of that good stuff. Robin. Steve and Katie.
What we're all dying to know is who was Robin, right? What was his story? Anyway, if you have a similar kind of wedding video to send us, we really would be most grateful, not to say avid. But for one thing, London Weekend's legal department doesn't get much divorce work. For another thing, something going wrong on your wedding day does seem appropriate to It'll Be All Right on the Night. The surest way of getting into an outtake collection is still probably summed up best by whoever defined the word confidence as that calm, assured feeling you experience just before falling flat on your face. If you want that really pinned down, when appearing on television, it is never wise to make extravagant claims.
Bob Londonau is in the Guinness Book of Records as the world's fastest friction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 28 years. I've been in the Guinness Book since 1960 with 18 different world records involving all sorts of guns.
Wait a minute, are you giving your show?
Now what I'll do...
Because we got to get the camera on it.
All right, it's all going to happen right here. I'll put this cup here.
Oh.
Now, when I go for the gun, the cup will go to the ground. I'll bring the gun out. The same hand that was holding the cup will now be the same hand that will once again cock and fire the gun. The object of the demonstration is to draw and fire the gun before the cup hits the floor. This would be procedure. I will attempt to draw, fire, and hit the cup before it moves. This should answer your question. That shot get out of the holster. Well, let's find out. I'll do my best. Like I said, it's not as easy to do as it looks. Don't mind me. It's just I had a knife, you'd be dead. Yeah.
Extraordinary looking bike. What is so special about it? How would you sell it to me?
Its first obvious advantage is that I'm sitting very much lower to the soil. And in doing so, even my short legs can touch it. Handy when you've got a machine of this weight.
Part of the old sheet. We first must get our sheet open. Full strength, see, like this. Now what I'm going to do with Paul first is roll him over on his right side. Now, Paul, right there, I'm ready for it. Now I'm going to remove this part of his bed.
People that really don't understand, that don't appreciate the wonderful benefits and the enrichments bilinguals it all brings. So that's why we, in any case, intend producing in September a booklet explaining how valuable and enriching bilingualism is and how fluently a child can come to become how fluent, how quickly he can become bilingual.
To make a complete clearance and to show you just how good I think this top black table really is, I'm going to try and do just that.
Unidentified already in 2 hours to fashion the sculpture complete with a beer can and sunglasses, and of course he's sitting on a bench. I grew up in Florida. It really, when you do see snow for the first time, or when you rarely see it, you go a little bonkers.
But most of us just make your regular snowman with 3 balls, don't you agree?
Yes. But it is not going out tonight, you see, because the show is now over. And yes, sir, it isn't over, and the scene is at home. Oh, well.
Rick Buster.
Friedel says if the strike isn't successful and farm prices don't go up soon, he'll have to look for another job. And that will mean the end of farming for a fourth-generation American farm... Okay.
Hello, my name's Roll. Oh, bother, I'm not Roll, never.
Aim! Fire! Oh! Rifle! Aim! Fire! Oh! Rifle! Aim! Fire! Order!
Pretty cold and desolate here now. A big change from when the Who were here this past summer. 60,000 people.
The holiday today, Boulder holds the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade, and we'll tell you about that in just a minute. But first, we're going to go check in with Larry Green, a man who is... no, wait a minute. Now, let's see. That looks... Kill that picture for a second. Boy, is that embarrassing.
American newscaster urgently needing to borrow some suave. Mind you, that young lady's rear view, and you must admit, if she'd been Miss Muffet, she'd probably required 2 tuffets. But what that image brought to mind was how often appearing on television seems to demand having eyes in the back of your head, because it's extraordinary the number of telly people we found who managed to cluck up a cock-up by simply failing to obey what we labelled the look behind you principle.
Told me that the Canadian vaccine is made a lot differently than the American vaccine. They say it's a lot less toxic. So it's shots for everyone except those who object on religious grounds. No shots for me in your school. I hope you were rolling. It was perfect.
Divers will be going down with an underwater vacuum-like machine. That will suck the sand off the wreckage and will give park rangers a better idea of exactly what's down there.
Of course, they're not parrots, are they? They're macaws. Where do they come from? Do they enjoy doing it?
Informationen kommer att verka och så vitt jag förstår kan man räkna med ungefär.
You must know I've got to do something. Come on!
Tierney Chevrolet is ready for energy conservation with our fuel-efficient product line. Conservation of natural resources and transportation has been practiced all over the world. And this camel is used in an area where water is in short supply. At Tierney Chevrolet, we don't sell gas guzzlers. From our full-size Chevrolet...
This is certainly going to be no ordinary road test. We're just about to take on some of the worst of what the rugged outdoor life and the weather can offer in the world's most unstoppable all-terrain vehicle, the Argo. Now, these little poly...
It just goes to show there's more to life than just getting things right. You know, for those of us who've been putting together, it'll be all right on the nights for these must be getting on for 7 years now, we've all had to resign ourselves to the shameful fact that watching distinguished personages making noodles of themselves does induce what might be called a trough of low pleasure. But what we still can't understand is why that pleasure should be so much more intense when, as in this next sequence, they do it in the course of making a commercial.
Right then, I better start with the basics. It's a light golden liquid, except for the white bit on the top, the head, and it's brewed from malt, yeast and hops. The technical term for that is lager. It's L-A-R-G-E-R.
Real good. Real good. Better.
How's the Windsors, my cigar? It tastes good.
before there is the ultimate, in my opinion, Hutton's Gold Nugget. See, Hutton's are the best. Whether you want it on the bone, without the bone, wholes, halves, premium farts.
Look into my eyes. This is Fabuliner, Revlon's automatic eyeliner. Draws a perfect line every time. No drips, skips, or retips. I know I
If you're into video games for your Atari 2600, you're going to want to put this down and pick this up now. You're going to want to put this down and pick this up now. I'm about to... You're going to want to put this down and pick this up now. 'Cause I'm about to...
Somebody say cut.
New golden chicken and mushroom. Corn, sunlight.
The people at Fabergé send me lots of great products to use. Hey, today they sent me some Brute 33 antiperspirant. The aerosol spray, easy roll-on. The anti-perspirant stick, how about that? And the new non-aerosol spray.
That was a very illustrious American sportsman called Joe Namath doing for men's toiletries what the charge of the Light Brigade did for recruiting. Now, if you're wondering why I've changed my position, it's not because I thought the show was so good I wanted to come out here and enjoy it myself. It's just that we thought we'd try a little experiment. You see, by now, our studio audience, like yourselves, they've now seen more than 90 examples of things suddenly going wrong. So to find out if that has in any way heightened what scientists would call their CUPA, their cock-up prediction ability, well, we thought we'd like to give some of them a little test. So would you join in this scientific experiment? All we'll do is we'll play you a bit of a clip just before the cock-up happens. Then we'll stop it, and we'll come to you and say, what do you think went wrong? Can you anticipate what went wrong? And then we'll play the clip again, and if you guessed it right, you will get a first-class ticket to Tahiti. And then, if you win it again, you get another ticket back again. So let's see the first part of the clip.
Does it bite, postman?
No. I don't have any legs to come here anyway. No, it don't bite, it's hot.
What's his name?
Bonzo.
Bonzo. Could I introduce Bonzo to John Hopsall, who is a postman on this site, and he's been having a bit of difficulty. He's been a bit
Oh, not going to mind.
No. Would you like to meet him, John?
All right. What would your guess be would then go wrong?
Well, suppose the dog went to the postman and lifted its leg.
Well, all right. That's the kind of thing you consider entertainment. Let's all right. Well, let's see how near you got.
No. I don't have any legs to come here anyway. No, it don't bite, it's hot.
What's his name?
Bonzo.
Bonzo. Could I introduce Bonzo to John Hopsall, who is a postman on this site, and he's been having a bit of difficulty. He's been bitten.
Oh, not going to mind.
No. Would you like to meet him, John? Bonzo?
Yeah.
I think I'm a very lucky girl. Eintlik wil ek net 2 keer dankie sê. Baie dankie.
I'll tell you what was happening there, actually. It was one of those television award programs, you know, those star-strangled 4.5-hour shows. And the lady had started to talk foreign, but don't let that throw you, because Plato who said, cock-ups know no frontier. So she's making her speech for the award, what didn't happen that should have happened or happened that shouldn't have happened?
She's forgotten her lines.
She's forgotten her lines. Not an unknown situation in these programs. Let's see if she forgot her lines, shall we? See the rest of that clip, right?
Thank you very much. I think I'm a very lucky girl. Eintlik wil ek net 2 keer dankie sê. Baie, baie dankie aan almal wat Ek is nou maar
It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no.
Did you know who that singer was? Well, his name's a very well-known American singer called Robert Goulet. He's what my mother... well, it's an unfortunate name. He's also what my mother would call handsome and he knows it. Now, if he's sitting here like this and he's singing "It's the pale moon that excites me," it's a step somewhat taller than this. It's a hand mic somewhat smaller, or different shape. Now, what didn't he anticipate happening?
Fallen off the steps?
He could easily have fallen off the steps, said he's shifting to one buttock precariously. Yes, well, let's see if that was the disaster that then ensued.
It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, Carol, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh, no.
Was there any point where you saw that coming?
Yes.
There was. I think there was from a lot of the audience. Actually, if you do see a lot of it, you do see it. Thank you anyway. Can I just do one more thing, if you'll permit, right? Could have been one of those 1,000,000 to 1. Right, thank you. Well, before winding up this crash course in consternation, I really must thank all those performers, reporters, newscasters, and members of the clergy who have so sportingly allowed themselves to be displayed as wimps or nerks for your delectation. Just in case watching those people make so many mistakes has induced any feelings of superiority, I'd just like to ask those of you who've been videoing this program, are you quite sure you haven't been recording BBC Two? So with our usual regrets for some of the outtakes that got away, like the rehearsal of the topless musical trio where the piano lid suddenly slammed shut, or the scene from Star Trek where they had a transporter malfunction and Mr. Spock's ears got beamed up Nurse Chapel's skirt. Apart from those, we're quite happy about the final bunch, in which several of the gilded ones of this industry are called upon to endure circumstances which really are above and beyond the call of duty, particularly in the first one, where Paul Eddington proves once again there ought to be a society for the protection of people from animals.
litt splittet ved synet på militants, og det er denne opprivende uenigheten som kan vise seg å bli den største skaden for partiet. Venstrefløyen, ledet av Tony Benn, vil stanse en heksejakt de frykter kan ramme folk. Pardon? What are you doing? I had an interview with... Yeah, well, you've been and you can go now. No, they had an introduction. Well, what's that got to do with it? This is a private area.
At least one of these possibly the shorter one, when the evenings are not taken up with confirmations, when I might actually go and spend an evening in one parish and have all the members of the congregation invited, or indeed any member of the parish who liked to come, invited to a meeting when I would expose myself to them and listen to what they have to say.
You see, I don't feel like me in this. I feel sort of like, a bit like a Duchess.
No.
Now, we know you hated me in what I was in before.
Well,
but now we just want to know now, why is it, now why do you see this as me?
because I think there's a more opulent view than you're permitting yourself to be. Yeah, but I don't think you have to talk like crotches too tight.
Well, there is no crotch, no.
There is too.
There isn't.
Those are palazzos. They better be.
Well, then I've got both legs in one thing.
San Antonio, just outside of Bernie, we have found a haven for monkeys. Monkeys of all shapes and sizes. Well, most of the monkeys that you'll find here are unadoptable. They're the battered victims of human neglect and cruelty. Well, tonight on PM Magazine, we're going to meet the man that formed this organization. We'll...
All right. Well, let's see if we can get you inside this box, shall we? That's good. Are you ready? Jump. There we go. That's fine. Now you make yourself comfortable inside the box, and we'll cover you up. There we have some special vanishing words. Soon, son of a bit.
If the strike is not successful and farm prices don't go up soon, he'll have to look for another job. That will mean the end of farming for a fourth-generation American farm family. Michael Rawson, Newswatch 2 in Tremont.
We thought you may be interested to know that a video cassette of It'll Be All Right on the Night 3 is now available.